Hello and welcome to Borderline Gamers. This is Rob, and Halloween's coming up soon, so I decided to do a Halloween special, I guess a one-shot for my D&D group. I've only been DMing for about maybe 2 months now, so I'm very new at this. So I thought I'd put up like a prep video to show the guys what I do, to set up stuff, just so they can see behind the curtain, because they never really get to see that kind of stuff, and I'm sure some of them might be interested. So, since it's Halloween, I thought, let's make it very cliche. Let's have basic stuff: liches, skeletons, zombies. I'm gonna chuck every little cliche Halloween thing at them. Maybe a ghost at some point. Maybe a ghost. We'll see how that goes. So what I was thinking is they're starting in Florendale, as in this is where their campaign has been taking place so far, and I wanted to make the one shot kind of part of it, but out of sequence, so it doesn't interfere with anything they're doing currently. So they did discover early on that there was a tomb in the forest of Florendale near the mountains. So I thought, what better place to have a Halloween themed one shot than in a creepy little dungeon that is also a tomb, where you could potentially raise dead and have everything flying at them. So there's also what I thought to start off the adventure. I'll just take them out from where they are, plop them into. So there's a wizard. I'll plop them into where the wizard is in the town. He has his own wizard's tower, kind of like a windmill lighthouse on the edge of the town. Outside the walls, sorry, actually. It's outside the walls. So they'll start their adventure there. So I'm thinking he talks to them, he asks them to sort out what's going on in this said tomb. The tomb is probably like creating some effect on the area around it, probably especially what I was thinking initially is, if a lich or a necromancer of some sort has moved into this tomb, and he's casting dark magic of some sort, it's probably having an effect on the living creatures and trees and everything around it, I guess. So I would imagine that the wizard himself would probably notice this on his treks or whatever, much like Radagast would have found the necromancer in The Hobbit, actually. Sort of inspired off that, I guess. So the tomb, I've already relayed some of this information to one of the players. The tomb is actually, it's originally Simeon the Giant Slayer's tomb, and all of his followers. My player found out by reading some history books in the library. So basically, Simeon the Giant Slayer, he once ruled the mountains of Florendale, well, north of Florendale, and he then, well, the thing is, he had to fight giants, and eventually he found a gem, a stone of some sort that controlled the giants to a certain extent. So what he did, he infused this stone with his blade. Oh, sorry, no, hang on a minute. Got that wrong. He infused it with a giant's bone in the shape of a blade. And he then created this sword so that he could control the giants. And with that, he used the giants to create an underground, not labyrinth, but I guess a tomb ready for when his demise would come, sort of along the lines of that. So I did draw out a map very basic, very basic. So there's a long staircase basically that leads them to here. They come to a very small room with pressure plates of some sort leading into where all his followers would probably be buried, and then probably a preparation room where they would prepare the bodies, and then like the fallen king himself, Simeon, is probably buried around here. So what I was thinking is the Lich has gone looking for this said sword, because giants still live in these mountains, and the Lich wants to get the sword for either to control the giants, to do what he wants, or maybe to even wipe them out completely. I haven't really sorted out that kind of motive yet, but all in all, he still wants this sword, and it is said that the sword is buried with Simeon himself. So what I've done is, so the players would find the dungeon already broken into. So the first room I've planned would have 3 doors. One of the doors already blasted open by some form of magic, to make it seem as if someone's already here, so they know that they've got to be on their guard kind of thing, not just waltz down not caring kind of thing. So they've got to be on their guard. What I then planned, probably in these, I guess, catacombs to a sense, trenches. They're very thin corridors. I'm making it 1 person thin, 5 foot kind of thing. I suppose some of them could squish together if they really wanted to, but what I'm having it as is the floor and the ceiling and the walls all have the dead bodies, dead skeletons, whatever, of this fallen king, Simeon. And I was thinking something along the lines of the Lich maybe performing some form of necromancy trigger, I guess. So once he's been through here, he's probably activated something. So next time something comes through, maybe these bodies respond instead of just lying there. So I was thinking they try and break through this. I was gonna make it marble, dark marble, but I'm thinking more like glass. Like, so the first room is going to be made out of like dark marble, so they can almost see their reflection in it. Oh yeah, I also thought, because it's kind of Halloweeny, I wanted to make their reflections just their skeletons, the players now I mean, just as a little weird thing to throw at them. They might look at that for more than they should, but basically when they see the reflection, they'll see skeletons of themselves moving and stuff instead of their normal reflections. So basically marble, then glass, but it'll still be the same shade of black, so they won't initially see that it's glass unless if I make them, or maybe they want to make a perception to see anything in particular, and I might say, oh, the floor has seemed a different effect when you're placing your feet on it, like, because obviously it's a slightly different effect when, you know, your feet hit that kind of glass instead of marble. So I wanted then the skeletons to kind of break out from every single direction onto these players. Kind of really easy to kill. Probably hand-to-hand combat is more than necessary in this kind of state. I'm going to make it very easy for them to kill. I might use the skeletons for this, seeing as they've probably been buried for, I don't know, probably thousands of years, maybe. So probably most of the flesh has probably, you know, kind of rotted off, I guess, or eaten away of some sort, degraded, I guess. So what I might run is like every couple of skeletons, I might have one zombie, but basically it will be a skeleton with more flesh, in a sense. Just to shake things up, I guess, where the armor class is obviously going to change, and hit points I'll probably keep roughly the same. So yeah, then once they've, like, I won't make every single one come alive, you know, they'll get a bit flooded and it might become a bit monotonous just hacking down skeletons. I mean, I might make it so some of them are suicide bombers. I recently watched a couple of videos by T the Writer. He was talking about making his skeletons more interesting. He was talking about liches as well. I'll link that in the video description. Then, once they've moved on from any one of these corridors, what I'm thinking is then they come to the prep room, where these squares are representing maybe prep tables of some sort, where they used to lay the bodies, say their last respects and all that. I was thinking to have a form of henchman in this room, so I was thinking like a little dinner table kind of here, and I kind of wanted to take the seriousness out of it at this point, because my players are not very serious, let's be honest. I mean, we're here to have a laugh playing the game, you know? I mean, it's good to have serious moments in the game, but all in all, they just want to hack stuff down and have a laugh. So what I've done is I've created a character who I can't decide yet, who is either half troll or half giant, or even half troll, half giant, and then not half troll, half human or whatever. But I'm thinking halfway in between a troll and a giant. I'm making him only 9 foot tall, so he doesn't tower over these players, even though actually one of my players is extremely short. He's a gnome. I think we made him like 2 foot tall, just for the laugh of it. But basically I've designed him. I think his name, he's going to be probably Benny. He's quite a dumb, half-wit kind of guy, and he's going to be, I thought it would be a bit of a funny thing, from taking a scene from Toy Story 1 where Buzz Lightyear is having tea with all the dolls and he's gone a bit loopy, so he thinks he's Nina Nesbitt or whatever. But what I'm thinking is Benny is having, let's make this a bullet point. Benny's having tea party, excuse my awful writing, tea party with skeletons. And I'll make these possibly even inanimate skeletons, so the party don't even have to fight them. They're just they're stumbling across this almost innocent, I guess, character, and he'll probably be a bit dumb. And he'll probably have, so there'd be a door on the other side of this room, up here, that leads closer to the fallen king, Simeon, and possibly the Lich. So what I'll have is, he'll have the key to the door. So the players are almost forced to interact with him, even if they want to sneak past him, kind of thing. Most likely, my party will probably try and kill him. They are very bloody and gutsy gory. Benny will probably be, I was thinking, very silly looking. So I was thinking jeans with straps. What do you call them? Very you know, the farmer kind of jeans, like overalls, with the straps over your shoulders, and then possibly a helicopter hat. So that kind of thing where it goes like this, and then it has the blades of a helicopter kind of thing, and then it's like split into colours and whatever, for example. So very, he's like I guess like a little kid, like a 6-year-old kid with his lollipop kind of thing. And he's having a tea party with these skeletons, just to lighten the mood, just to make it... I want to see what my players will do. I wonder if they'll interact with him socially and try and get the key, get him to almost maybe even turn on his master, the Lich, maybe even they probably end up fighting him, but maybe they'll try and talk him out of working for the Lich. I mean, it's D&D, anything's possible. I know our rogue constantly tries to almost hire people so they have cannon fodder when it comes to big fights. After they've got the key, where they're killing the poor guy or whatever, they'll open this, I'm thinking, magical door that the Lich has created, so only that key can open it, rather than just having a normal double wooden door that someone could smash down. Unless if obviously someone has dispel magic or whatever, that's fine. So then I'm thinking that room will lead to a traps room. I haven't really thought out traps. I'm thinking something along the lines of either arrows coming out the walls or needles coming up from the floor. Something very basic, something very cliche of a dungeon. And then basically this next corridor, there'll be lights in the walls, just very cinematic, kind of green orbs that light up this dark passage, just to kind of the calm before the storm kind of scene. So it's kind of very relaxed. I'm not going to make them have lasers come out the walls or whatever. Then it'll lead them to this door, which I'm thinking is already broken open, mainly because the Lich will be in this room with the fallen King Simeon. And what I'm thinking is the Lich has potentially woken up this dead king, and he's either potentially I'm thinking either like a wraith type ghost of some sort, or maybe maybe just an undead corpse potentially. I'm kind of leaning towards kind of wraithy, kind of all-being huge ghost kind of thing that you don't want to mess with, because the party currently I don't think has any magical weapons, so the mage will be the only one doing the damage to him. So I don't really want them to kill Simeon, because he's gonna give them a quest which is actually related to the campaign, but that's something I can't really reveal because I know they'll end up watching this. Some of them will end up watching this video and probably spoil some of the story stuff for them. So I'll probably have the Lich at that point turn around half conversation and see these meddling kids come in from behind. I haven't really designed this character yet. I'm thinking they're only level 5 as well, the whole party, and I think there's 5 or 6 of them. So I know a normal out of the book Lich is probably too powerful for them, so I'm probably going to take it down a few notches just to make it that much, well, bearable. I mean, I might end up killing a party member by accident. I mean, Liches are overpowered, so yeah, mainly this video is for my players to either watch after and kind of go, oh, I see how he set that up, kind of thing, or oh, he meant for us to do that, kind of thing. Because I know we have Rodri usually as a DM, and half the stuff he writes we don't get through because we do things that he does not expect because we're so stupid, really. So yeah, so the Lich, basically I'm planning on him to die, and then maybe potentially making an appearance in the campaigns that they're playing, that I'm running even. So I'll see how that goes. And then basically, if and when, I mean the Lich might even attempt to run away, seeing that it's outnumbered and such. But basically then the party will be left with this potentially a wraith, Simeon the Giant Slayer. They'll probably overhear in the conversation between the Lich and the fallen king that he's after the blade that is supposed to be buried with Simeon. But I'm having it so the blade has actually been already stolen, and I've pre-written that in the campaign actually. So someone has actually already been here and stolen it, and now the Lich has come through, and he has been thwarted by more than one thing. First of all, someone's come in here, stolen his stuff already, and second of all, these adventurer guys have just come in, potentially got rid of all his traps, potentially killed his sidekick Benny, poor Benny, avoided all the, actually those are probably the traps from Simeon being set up, yeah, so that's basically it. Fallen King will probably put them on the quest then to go find the blade for him, and potentially give them, I guess, treasure, to be very generalistic. Yeah, they'll probably get some form of reward for getting the blade back, and that's kind of what I've planned. How much of this is going to come out and how much of this is going to work, I don't know, but yeah, if you've lasted this long, congratulations. Thanks for watching, and yeah, see you next time.